Hi, I'm Rick Levine, the astrologer at Tarot.com, here today to talk with you about the moon in Capricorn. So the moon is our feelings, it's how we respond to things. The moon is close to Earth, and our feelings, our bodies are close to us, and so we might be the sun in any sign, but when we're born with the moon in a particular sign, like Capricorn, that's how we feel. So how does a Capricorn feel? Well, a Capricorn, because it's an earth sign, the moon in Capricorn people feel like their feet are on the ground. Think of the mountain goat that never falls. They can be balanced precariously on the edge of a cliff toward the top of a mountain, and you think, how did they get up there, and how are they going to get down? That's the moon in Capricorn. The moon in Capricorn feels intuitively like the mountain goat. It never wants to lose its footing. And so it moves very carefully. And so the moon in Capricorn people are people who often calculate what happens when they feel this way or that way. And therefore the moon in Capricorn, because it's determined to get to the top of the mountain, is very good at holding feelings in. It masters the external world in order to deal with the inconsistencies of emotions. Now, the fact is that the moon, like all the planets, continues moving around the signs, and as such, the moon moves through the sign of Capricorn for about 2.5 days every month, every month. What that means is that regardless of what your sun sign is or your moon sign or any of the other planets in your birth or natal chart, that when the moon is in Capricorn for a couple of days during each month, we all feel a little bit more like Capricorn moons. So we might tend to be more cautious. We might tend to look at situations through a very practical lens, thinking, how can we make the most of this and get something out of it, rather than how can we have an amazing experience or whatever else we might normally do. So the thing is that when the moon is in Capricorn, we are more serious, more grounded, and we're more concerned with a key word for Capricorn: ambition. We want to figure out what we can do to get to where we're going. Now, when the sun is moving through the sign of Capricorn every year at the beginning of winter in the northern hemisphere, and the moon moving around once a month comes and lines up with the sun in Capricorn, we have a new moon in Capricorn. And the new moon is always a seed period. It's always the beginning. It's always the start of the next emotional cycle. Now, it turns out that every year our calendar new year begins with the sun in Capricorn. So in a way, the new moon in Capricorn is almost like the beginning of the new year. It's not really that, but we can think about that because that's where we set our intentions for our ambitions and our desires of what we want to accomplish for the year ahead. The idea with the new moon in Capricorn is we pick a mountain, and that mountain then becomes the object that we want to master as we climb it, however long it may take. Now, 6 months later, when the sun is just moving into the sign of Cancer at the beginning of summer, then as the moon is going around, as it moves through Capricorn, it's opposite the sign of Cancer, and so we have the full moon in Capricorn in the beginning of summer every year. Now, the full moon is a time of fullness. It's a time of fruition. It's a time of culmination. And as such, this is the time when, rather than setting our intentions for what mountain we're going to climb, it's almost like we're at a halfway point in our yearly cycle. And the full moon in Capricorn is we stop and we think, where have we obtained what height, what ambitions, what success stories, where have we failed, and what do we need to do to adjust for the next time around. For Tarot.com, I'm Rick Levine.